Why are men not men anymore? For the past 48 hours, I disassembled a bed, carried it to my car, all the parts, by the way, carried a vanity to my car, loaded it in the car. And on top of that, today we had to look for somebody randomly in the Target parking lot with a black truck, just so happened to find a random black man just to help me to put the mattress inside the back of his truck. Bring back masculine men 2024, 2025. Somebody, please. And thank you.
The men are different.
The
The men are
nicer,
much more
respectful,
respectful.
no, because like before you could like you be dancing and then after a while you gotta turn back like who the heck is this?
I'm kind of confused. You guys sound like you're upset. You don't get
No,
bum
because
rushed
now,
anymore.
look,
When you say younger women have less baggage, what you really mean is they have less experience with abusive romantic relationships and can't tell when they're in one as easily. Also say younger women usually look better. No, they usually look younger. All of these things that you're attracted to have nothing to do with the woman herself. It only has to do with what you can make her do and what you can get out of her. All of these things that you're saying are attractive to you are actually just signals that you can victimize her and maybe get away with it.
When men say that the only people that get unconditional love are women and children, what do they mean? What does that mean?
Unconditional love is men sucking up the life, time, and energy out of a woman so that he can have a shot at success, which is really only a privilege that should be afforded to babies and children.
All right, y'all, a little bit of house cleaning before we get started. For those who've been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door, for me, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Every bit of your engagement helps promote me into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now, let's get started.
Why are men not men anymore? For the past 48 hours, I disassembled a bed, carried it to my car, all the parts, by the way, carried a vanity to my car, loaded it in the car, then drove to the storage unit to help my friend unpack everything, to get it on a gurney, to take the gurney up to the elevator, to take the elevator up to the 4th floor just to get it to a storage unit, and then have to lift it up again and take it back into the motherfucking storage unit just to come back down to my car, just to go 5 minutes away, just to load back everything up in my car again. And you mean to tell me out of the 5 million niggas that I called, and collectively out of me and my friend, that not one of them could come and help me carry a motherfucking mattress, a bed frame, a headboard, no Nathan? I'm fitting everything in this small ass Tesla. I don't even got the huge model. I don't even got the truck model. I got the small one, the mini, the fun size, and it's the girl model too. And on top of that, today we had to look for somebody randomly in the Target parking lot with a black truck, just so happened to find a random black man just to help me to put the mattress inside the back of his truck. Mind you, the black truck wouldn't even fit the mattress, so we had to fold that motherfucker, and then he had to hurry up and follow us over here because he was busy. If you see this on TikTok, mwah, thank you so much. Yeah. Bring back masculine men 2024, 2025. Somebody, please. And thank you.
Congratulations. This is what equality looks like. Oh, you didn't want equality, you wanted privilege. You wanted special treatment. Got it. See, here's the problem. Feminists fought for women to be looked at and treated as equals. So in the current society you live in, i.e. 2024, men treat women as equals. And I might want to get a little bit of suggestion to you, right? Just a little bit of advice. If you want chivalry, if you want men to be used as tools for you, right? You want to be able to access men as you see fit. You want men to be masculine and stand in for you when you need help. You want men to be all these traditional chivalrous things that they used to be. How about you become all the things traditionally that women used to be, i.e. ladylike, because all the cuss words you threw out on this post, good Lord. So if you want equality, that means you have to do things for yourself, and chivalry shouldn't exist in a purely egalitarian society. See, in 2024, women are expected to live an adult just as men do. but you want covering from random men. You want covering from men who you're not in relationships with. Why? If you are a strong, independent woman and capable of adulting on your own, figure it out. Because you want chivalry and special treatment and privilege when feminists fought for equality. So if you want special treatment and privilege, I suggest you get under the covering of a man and cooperate, be feminine, and be docile and dainty so you don't have to ask for help. Men will volunteer it. But by the way you curse and the way your mouth and the way you are actually, speak, it's unladylike. So could you blame men for not wanting to help a woman who doesn't exude ladylike behavior? I wouldn't help your ass either. I'll let you struggle by yourself because you don't seem like a woman that deserves help. Let's go to the next one.
I feel like what you see, the men are different.
They're
The men
nicer,
are much more
respectful. No, because like before you could you be dancing and then after a while you gotta turn back like, who the heck is this? No, I could be pushing back like, he gonna come? Right? Like I hear doing the most work.
Sir, grab
Like,
this wine.
When
No,
he
but
eat
it's
teeth in the wine, they ain't come
But
in
it's
for wine
scale
no
now.
more. Like they
But
stand
even
up
the whole
watching.
touching thing, because I always used to have an SVD and used to make me so annoyed when you pass people, they gotta touch you.
Yeah, that
especially
too.
the men. Now,
Nobody
They
hands
don't
up,
even
girl.
come at all. I was
Nah.
surprised when somebody
Yeah.
come behind me.
honestly,
It was
they get
very
shy.
shocking.
I'm kind of confused that you guys sound like you're upset. You don't get
no, because
rushed
now,
anymore.
look, when we used to get touched, it was annoying.
you
but
wanted to get bum
no,
rushed.
but you
don't wanna
go
get bum
in
rushed.
to the complete opposite side. You need a balance. Don't
Yeah.
touch me up disrespectfully.
Right,
But pull
right.
up on me.
Pull up,
Pull
you
up
could have been
on
like,
just walk.
This is actually an example of women getting what they ask for. This is why we often say women don't know what they want. But I think they know what they want. They only want the guys that they find attractive to push up on them. This is what happens when you allow a small minority of loud feminists to get on social media and speak for you and say, you don't want men to approach, you don't want men to do this, you don't want men to do that. So men are adaptable, men are logical. They're going to stop doing the things that the loud minority complain about. And now that you're not getting any man to do these things for you, not just the men you don't find attractive, but the men you also find attractive are not pushing up on you anymore. You have a problem with it, and you want to say it has to be balanced. What has to be balanced is men have to know exactly what to do in situations so they do not be called creeps, so they are not accused of SAing or potential SAing. Men are not going to put themselves in a vulnerable position for women who may not even want them to approach or want them to engage with them. See, this is what happens when you do nuclear rejection and you make it seem as if all men are bad until they're all men are bad except the ones you find attractive. But how do they know if you find them attractive or not? Okay, let me guess. Because you should know what lane you should pull up in. You should know what women you can and cannot talk to. Got it. So men are now not doing any of those things because men have figured out what they have long said in the manosphere. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Welcome to the reality of feminism, ladies. This is the hand you've dealt. This is the hand you got to rock with. Let's go to the next one.
When you say younger women have less baggage, what you really mean is they have less experience with abusive romantic relationships and can't tell when they're in one as easily, and you find that attractive. When you say they're less likely to be stuck in their ways, what you're really saying is they're more likely to be manipulated into your way of thinking and behaving, and you find that attractive. Younger women are more fertile? Who cares? There are 8 billion people on the planet, and our problems are related to climate change, not underpopulation. And younger men are more fertile too. After the age of 35, your swimmers stop swimming so much. If I had a child right now, no matter with who, the quality of my swimmers would be an issue in this equation. You also say younger women usually look better. No, they usually look younger. All of these things that you're attracted to have nothing to do with the woman herself. It only has to do with what you can make her do and what you can get out of her. All of these things that you're saying are attractive to you are actually just signals that you can victimize her and maybe get away with it. Otherwise, you'd be attracted to like artistic creativity or intelligent assertiveness. Welcome to Gilead. This has been The Handmaid's Tale.
I always find it strange when a man has an issue with another man's standards. I always find it strange when another man has an issue with what a man prefers. It doesn't matter to you. You're not a woman. So why do you care if a man wants to date a younger woman? Why do you care if a man wants to pursue women who are more fertile? Why does it matter to you? And then saying that underpopulation isn't the issue of the global world. So fucking what? A man has the right to choose his offspring's viability. If having children with a younger woman ensures viability of his offspring, why should you give a damn? And why do you care? See, this is my profound problem with panderers. First of all, you're a guy that most women probably won't find attractive, whether they be white, black, yellow, brown, or purple. You're not that guy. So you have to pander to try to backdoor yourself in to get the most vulnerable women who seal clap to your talking points of shaming men, because all this was an attempt to shame men out of having preferences and standards. Men have the right to have a preference. You cannot shame people out of what they want. You don't shame women out of their ridiculous expectations, standards, or preference. I don't hear you say that a woman wanting a guy that's over 6 feet tall, despite the population of men being over 6 feet tall, is very minimal. You don't shame them for that. You don't shame women for having the expectations of a man making 6 figures or higher income brackets. You don't shame women for that. You don't shame women for any of the ridiculous standards and expectations they have. The type of pants a man wears, the type of shoes, his swag, the way he carries himself, his bravado. You're not shaming women for those things. So shaming men because they want younger, viable, more women who have less damage and less baggage, it's nothing more than a pathetic attempt by a panderer to shame men for having expectations and standards of the women they actually want to be involved with. Why do you care? I always ask that question to guys like this. Why do you care? And demonizing men for if they want to date younger, if they want to date older, if they want to date in their same age range is ridiculous. You can try to demonize as much as you like. It's not going to change natural biology. And men are naturally attracted to women who are more fertile when they're trying to establish families. That's all. That's it. And men have the right to like what they like. Get bent, go to hell. Let's go to the next one.
When men say that the only people that get unconditional love are women and children, what do they mean? What does that mean?
I think because men perceive money as being one of the most important things in the world, they also believe that spending money is a true expression of the ultimate form of love. And because a lot of men are under the delusion that a majority of women have access to a majority of men's money, it causes them to believe that women and their offspring are loved unconditionally. But they also don't recognize women's unpaid labor as being the conditions under which they receive love from men. But as I was thinking about the definition of unconditional love and what that would look like in practice, you know what really sounds like unconditional love to me? Men continuing to have access to a variety of spaces despite being responsible for 99% of the violence that occurs in those spaces. Unconditional love to me sounds like people continuing to respect you and even put you in positions of power and authority despite proving that you have zero control over your own physical impulses. Unconditional love is allowing you to whine and moan about a system that you created and continue to maintain while still having the decency to show you empathy. Unconditional love is men sucking up the life, time, and energy out of a woman so that he can have a shot at success, which is really only a privilege that should be afforded to babies and children. I mean, quite honestly, the way I see it, cishet men are the only ones who have ever received unconditional love over and over and over again throughout history. And I don't know. I just think they should be grateful.
So let me get this straight. Criminals, which are the men that create violence, and they're less than 1% of the population, get unconditional love. So where is the unconditional love coming from when they're being arrested, booked, charged, put through the system, sentenced, and then incarcerated with a crime of violence? That's unconditional love? Because I'm kind of confused at what unconditional love looks like. So men are also shown unconditional love because they're put into positions that they haven't earned, right? So men who are put into these positions, I'm pretty sure she's talking about either in corporate America or political positions, that's unconditional love by society as a whole. Got it. Makes absolutely no sense. Men, because men cultivate, maintain, and build civilization, are also loved unconditionally by women and children because they cultivate, build, and maintain society. I don't understand the logic that men are loved unconditionally because of what? Because you feel some type of way about men because you're a misandrist? You're linking unconditional love to societal expectations of men. Society, which is made up of both men and women, expect men to be producers. Society, which is made up of both men and women, expect men to protect. Society, which is made up of both men and women, expect men to be leaders. Society, that's made up of both men and women, put the expectation of men to cultivate and maintain infrastructure. And I like how you said that men have the expectation that money lends to unconditional love, when it's women who expect men to have money as a condition of love. See how you flip that on its head? Because unproductive men without resources, are typically not men that should be shown the graces of a relationship. Now you got to ask yourself, if you're putting men who are unproductive and who don't have resources into relationships, then that's a you problem. You're the one who are allowing bums to come into your life and just procreate all over the place and make little babies that they can't take care of. That's your problem. And then another thing with this woman, trust me, I've seen her quite a bit on TikTok and social media. She's a misandrist of the highest order. She's an extra misandrist with cheese on the side and sour cream. I get it. This is what she does. This is her stick. But ma'am, to feign as if men are loved unconditionally because of the things that they do typically and traditionally in society, when women and children are shown unconditional love, it's just ridiculous. Children are shown unconditional love by their parents, by the way, not society. Women are shown kind of, but I don't still buy that. Women aren't necessarily shown unconditional love, but they're given more grace of unconditional love than men are. But you should love people with conditions. The conditions that you don't do this, the conditions that you don't do that, conditions that you meet my morals and my standards. Everyone loves people with conditions, and it's a logical fallacy to feign that women and children are loved unconditionally. The only group of people I will honestly say that I know for a fact who are loved unconditionally are children, and by their parents, and they should be. This is nothing more than misandrist babble from a well-known, documented misandrist. That's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. I'll see y'all in the credits. 2 fingers. Peace. I'm out.
Like Jesus.
Here I am, trying to stand out in the crowd. Have my own sound. How's it that the fake ones are always so loud? All they do is here I am, I'm doing my own thing. Hell, I just wanna sing. Never wanted to impress, God bless. Don't ever wanna have to. Mirror, mirror, tell me, what is it about them? Living like it's their game. In this world there's talkers and there's doers. Hey, where